At LabLab, we have just tested the Dreame Mova E30 Ultra, and in this video, we are going to tell you what we honestly think about it. And for your information, if you are interested in this product, please note that we have put a link with its best price just below this video. Round in shape, the Dreame Mova E30 Ultra has a white design with a glossy finish that catches fingerprints a bit. Its size of 35 by 35 by 9.7 centimeters allows it to slip under radiators, and thanks to its edge sensor, it follows baseboards well. It integrates a 300 milliliter dust tank accessible by lifting its cover, as well as a water collector that is inaccessible manually. Emptying is carried out automatically at the station that accompanies this robot, and in which a pre-installed dust bag is located. The station is also used to fill the robot with clean water and to clean its mops when they return dirty from cleaning. Thus, there is a 4.5-liter clean water tank and a 4-liter dirty water tank. In addition to cleaning the mops, the base of the station can also dry them with cold air. The drying time is customizable from 2 to 12 hours. All this has an impact on the size of the station, which is quite imposing in height with its 59 centimeters. In terms of components, there are first 2 rotating mops that are magnetized to the robot. Their pads can be removed using Velcro, making it easy to replace them when necessary. The side brush is used to capture dirt to send it towards the middle of the robot where the roller brush is located. Unfortunately, we observed that hair tends to wrap around these 2 elements when there is a lot of it. The robot moves using 2 main wheels and an omnidirectional wheel. The bumper present at the front of its structure protects it in the event of a collision. On the side of the provided accessories, the assessment is quickly made since there are simply none. No spare dust bag, no cleaning solution, and no cleaning brush. However, this choice is understandable in view of the very competitive price of this model. Overall, the maintenance of this robot is minimal and greatly facilitated by the station. You just have to clean the tray, empty the dirty water, fill the clean water, and change the dust bag. Finally, the repairability index indicated for the E30 Ultra is 8.2 out of 10. Let's now move on to the features. The robot has 3 buttons to turn it on, start a localized cleaning, and send it back to its station. Under the cover, a 4th button allows it to be reset. For our part, pairing with the 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi was done quickly and without trouble. We quickly had access to the Mova Home application, and surprisingly, Dreame chose to create a new application rather than using its Dreame Home application. The application seemed easy to use to us. The settings are a bit better organized than what we have been able to see elsewhere. Once the first mapping was completed, we were able to follow the robot on the screen with a slight delay. Among its features, it is possible to create up to 4 maps and divide them into zones to organize a methodical cleaning. You can also rename them, place furniture there, and delimit carpets. Everything is visible in 3D if you wish. In addition to that, we were able to create invisible walls as well as thresholds between different rooms. You can also specify the floor type and the direction of the parquet in order to better clean between the grooves. It is possible to create partitions, change the orientation of the map, and much more. The battery level is also visible from the home screen during cleaning. An estimation of the cleaned area and the time spent are indicated. Among the choice of modes, this Mova E30 Ultra includes suction only, water washing only, suction with washing, and washing after suction. Suction is adjustable on 5 levels: silent, standard, turbo, max, and max plus, and water cleaning on 4 levels ranging from silent to max. The route can also be adjusted. With suction, quick and standard routes are available, and when only using the mops, the robot also offers intensive and deep routes. Among the other parameters, there is a cleaning history, the possibility of programming cleanings, parameters for carpet detection, others for zone cleaning around a pet, the adjustment of the language and the sound volume, and a Do Not Disturb mode to deactivate the robot in a certain time slot. The application also gives access to the parameters of the station. You can control the water level of the tanks, the automatic washing of the pads, the duration of their drying, and the frequency of dust emptying or mop cleaning. It is possible to activate the child lock and notifications and to resume cleaning once the emptying is finished. We saw that the application can also serve as a remote control and can locate the robot by asking it to manifest itself. We also appreciated the parameters allowing to start charging in off-peak periods, which offers an interesting saving on the electricity bill. To wrap up with the features, the vocal assistants Alexa, Siri, and Google Assistant can be associated with the robot. Well, let's now move on to the most important part, our performance tests. The Mova E30 Ultra is topped by a LiDAR tower, which successfully mapped our test room in 1 minute and 5 seconds. The 4 cliff sensors distributed under the robot made it possible to avoid a fall when it approached a staircase. The carpet sensor also worked well by transmitting the information to the application. The latter then adjusted the type of floor detected. With water washing, the robot avoided passing over carpets or raised its mops by 10.5 millimeters as needed. The laser present at the front of the robot detected obstacles well. Only the cable was ignored, which is quite common with vacuum cleaners of this type. Nevertheless, the plant, the armchair, the ball, and the shoe that we placed for our tests were all detected and bypassed closely without being touched. Even the straps of our backpack were avoided, and that is not a small feat at this price level. There is, however, no identification of objects in the application, but we were pleasantly surprised at the few times it got stuck. The suction power of this robot vacuum cleaner is 7,000 pascals, which is quite high for its price. In order to test its performance, we scattered grains and hair on different types of floor in a delimited area of 1 square meter. Here are the results we obtained on a hard floor using the Max Plus mode, a single pass, and the standard route. With 25 grams of coffee, it vacuumed 100% of the grains. With 50 grams of rice, it vacuumed 99% of the grains. There were just 11 left on the edges. With 50 grams of salt, it vacuumed 96% of the salt, which is almost everything. And with the few hairs that we had scattered, none were left. We proceeded in the same way on a short pile carpet. With 25 grams of coffee, it vacuumed 96%, 13 grains were left. With 50 grams of rice, it vacuumed 94%, about 30 were left. And with 50 grams of salt, our most difficult test, it vacuumed about 56% of the grains. Many were left in the depths of the carpet. Finally, with a few hairs, 2 or 3 were left, as well as a clump that was not vacuumed. Following these tests, we can say that the Mova E30 Ultra offers excellent suction performance on hard floors. On carpet, on the other hand, performance is good but not exceptional. It still manages to do better than other models we have tested for vacuuming fine dust like salt embedded in the carpet. To test the washing performance, we made dried mud and dried coffee tracks. We again used the test area of 1 square meter on a hard floor. The robot was set to suction and washing mode at max speed, and with the wider coverage of edges and corners. With the dried liquid coffee, it obtained a result of 4 out of 5. Just the most embedded tracks were left, but it managed to clean the majority of the tracks. As for the dried mud tracks, there on the other hand, it only obtained 2 out of 5. Many tracks were still left, especially in the center. So unfortunately, the Mova E30 Ultra did not have as good results as what we have already had with other robots. The mud mostly stayed in the grooves and hollows of our textured linoleum. For the noise in operation, here are the results obtained using our sound level meter positioned 1 meter from the device with each mode during suction. In silent mode, it emitted 53 decibels. In standard mode, 56 decibels. In turbo mode, 60 decibels. In max mode, 64 decibels. And in max plus mode, 68 decibels. While the silent and standard modes emit a low noise, we cannot unfortunately say the same for the high modes. Emptying, for its part, emitted a reasonable noise of 73 decibels. Finally, the cleaning of the mops emitted 42 to 64 decibels, and drying 34 decibels, which is very light. Finally, let's finish this test by evaluating battery life. Despite its low price, the Mova E30 Ultra is equipped with a large 5,200 mAh battery. During our tests, we observed that it had recovered 30% of its battery in 40 minutes of charging, which means that it could even be completely charged in less than 2.5 hours. This is truly impressive. As far as autonomy is concerned, the robot only lost 1% of battery to clean 10 square meters with the standard mode and the standard route. Carried to 100%, it could thus clean 1,000 square meters as long as the ground is free of any obstacle, and this for 10 hours. In more normal conditions with a few obstacles and the same parameters, the robot used 2% of its battery. Finally, the robot is capable of returning to its station to recharge its battery and then resume its task where it had stopped. And that is it for our test results. So to summarize everything, the positive points of the Dreame Mova E30 Ultra are an exceptional autonomy, a fast charge, a very good management of obstacles, very good suction performance on hard floors, emptying and mop cleaning which is done automatically, the complete and intuitive application, and the competitive price. As for the negative points, the results of the water cleaning, which were more mixed, in particular with the embedded mud tracks and the fact that no additional accessory is provided upon delivery. And that concludes our test. Thank you very much for watching it. As a reminder, you will find the link to this product with its best price just below the video. And if you like honest vacuum cleaner tests like this one, do not hesitate to subscribe to our channel.